Milwaukee's team. They got a bunch of guys over there that you have great respect for anyway. But, like Lillard, for example, been playing against him in the West for over a decade. And, for him to come back and do what he did today was phenomenal, So a lot of guts there. Middleton was unbelievable in this series. And they're just great competitors. And to knock them out is difficult. It is really difficult. So our guys, congratulations to our guys. First time in 10 years our fans have had this kind of feeling. And so that's a great thing for this city and the state. We'll see who the next opponent is, but I thought our guys learned an awful lot in this series. It's hard to go through a playoff series against an experienced team like this, as your first time in the playoffs. And we had a lot of guys that were first timers in this, but they learned the things that you need to learn along the way. And the ability to win the game, win game 2 and get home court advantage was obviously enormous. And we had so many guys that played great. Miles Turner, was the foundation of this effort. He was just phenomenal. Didn't score much today, but his fingerprints were all over this series. Tyrese was great. Siakam was great. Obi Toppin today had a phenomenal game. Can't say enough about the job Nembhard did defensively, the job Aaron did defensively, on both Lillard and Middleton. I mean, these guys are, in my mind, both Hall of Fame players. And so, just really, really, really happy for our guys.
Rick, you mentioned before the playoffs even that the goal wasn't to make it, was to keep going through it. And now the first time in a decade, you said you're moving on. What did this mean to you and this team to actually accomplish this?
Well, I think I just went through all that. I mean, it's so difficult to win a playoff series. You talk about getting to the playoffs, and it's like in college when you have a really good team and you talk about getting to the Final Four, and then all of a sudden just getting to the Final Four is kind of, where your expectation was. You've got to think bigger than that. And, I've said for 2 years now, we're a franchise with big dreams. And, we don't know exactly where this is going to go from here. We don't know who the opponent is. But you have to have big dreams and aspirations, to continue to grow and to continue to push yourself. So the thing I love about our team is that, we're a true team. We've got some great individual players, but we're a group that needs each other. And I think it's something that the people of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana can get behind.
You mentioned just Aaron and Andrew's defense. What impressed you about just your collective defense tonight? I think you held them under 25 in 3 of the 4 quarters. Obviously, a pretty big benchmark for you. Just what did you like about just what you guys did across the board there?
Well, we had to make some adjustments coming into this game. We had to, our poor offense was leading to bad defense. Our crowd was a big factor in this game, and the difference in the series was pressure. And it's very difficult to get, a group of guys to buy into, 94-foot full court pressure on every possession. That's not a fast break. And our guys did it. It was, Siakam was picking up full court, Toppin was picking, everybody was doing it. And so, that allowed us to maintain our pace. And we just felt that if we could keep pressure on them, that we could make it difficult.
I asked you about resiliency in pregame and how these guys are, were 23-12 and come back in losses.
Well, first of all, let me talk about McConnell, because McConnell, last game had a rough game, and his bounce back today was absolutely phenomenal. I would say in this game, he was the major difference maker, with defensive intensity full court. He knocked in 2 or 3 threes. He got in some difficult hoops around the basket. The crowd was going crazy. That period, late third, early fourth quarter was just, it was something else.
I was just going to go back to that, but for the